New Kozmo leaked support for Bosch. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? I've got a great story to tell you, right? During ruler format, baby rulers, spellbooks before Judgment were worthless. Like they were off the radar completely. One single support card, just one card called Spellbook of Judgment, took them from here and then put them like here. They went from here to here with one card. When Shaddolls were a thing, and we were waiting for the water support to come out, because Shaddolls sort of fell off the radar when when Necros came out. They got a card that directly countered their worst matchup. Makes sense, right? That makes sense. Blue Eyes even managed to get support that countered the best deck, Pendulum decks. Blue Eyes, white fucking privileged dragon got a Pendulum counter support. Kozmo got, well, let's see what Kozmo got. Now, I'm not saying Blue Eyes is a good deck, but if I had to put my money on either Kozmo or Blue Eyes beating Bosch Pepe, I would say that Blue Eyes probably has a better chance than Kozmo with the support. Okay. Now, do you see the context of what we're talking about, right? Can you understand what I'm trying to tell you by setting the scene? Spellbook got a card that made them compete with their worst deck. Shaddolls got a card that made them compete with their worst deck. Fucking Blue Eyes got support that makes them compete with their worst deck, with the Pendulum mechanic, right? Kozmo is about to play against... Now, Kozmo currently is the worst meta deck of all time, right? Like along the lines of like Bujin. Like, that's how bad the deck is. But it somehow is competitive because everything we currently have is sort of not that great. But people are catching on and learning how to play Pepe in its current form to beat Kozmo, regardless, right? So we have Bujin spaceships in 2015, right? And it needs to compete with Dragon Rulers 2.0 next set. You can imagine that we're going to need some very, very busted support to compete, right? Okay, so let's get into it. I hope I've set the scene for you. I hope I've kind of put everything into context for you to understand the situation that we're in. Let's go. Kozmo Tin Can. It's got the usual Kozmo effects of the pilots. Once per turn, during the end phase, so either player's end phase, pay 500, reveal 3 Kozmo cards with different names from your deck, your opponent picks one, and then you send the rest to the graveyard. The end phase. During the end phase. Let's read a little more. Maybe let's try get this into context. Let's try understand how this is gonna synergize with the rest of the support, right? Kozmo Stormtroopers. Once per turn, pay 1,000, target a psychic from your graveyard, special summon it. End phase. Special from graveyard. End phase. Special from graveyard. Normal summon. Normal summon. You seeing the problem here? Kozmo Shuttle. Target one face-up monster on the field that loses attack and defense. That's it. That's Konami's response to Dragon Rulers 2.0. Reduce the attack and defense. Dark Eclipse. It's gonna be good. This is the boss monster, the new, amazing boss monster. Let's read it. What does it do? You ready for this? This is the new boss monster. Think about that. Think about that in your head. This is the creme de la creme of the new support. This is what is going to crown the Bosch era of Kozmo in its glory. Let's read it. So it can be targeted. During the player's turn, when a trap card is activated, banish a Kozmo monster from your graveyard, negate the activation, and destroy it. And it's got the usual special summon from graveyard effect that all Kozmo monsters do. Let's read that again. When a trap card is activated during the player's turn, banish a Kozmo monster from your graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. I'm sorry, what? It gets around trap cards. Is this hat format? Is this 2014? Is this 2008? Trap? Trap negation? This is Konami's idea of dealing with Dragon Ruler 2.0 is trap negation? Before we get on to the last card, let me just stop with the sarcasm and explain to you. This is called Kozmo Tin Can because it looks like a garbage bin, because that's what that is. Garbage. Total and utter trash. That's what that is. Right? I understand how it works with this thing, right? I see the synergy. But I'm trying to compete against Dragon Rulers 2.0 and you're giving me a 2-turn normal summon setup. That's Konami's idea of during the end phase. So I can't even e-tele this guy, send some cards, normal this guy, special something from the... No, because it's end phase. I can play 1 for 1, yay! Okay, I can play 1 for 1. Reveal 3 Kozmo cards with different names from your deck. Your opponent randomly picks one for you to add to your hand, and you send the rest to the graveyard. What year is this? 2016 we're getting this? What does Konami give me? What's that? Remember what we said. Spellbook's got Judgment to compete with Baby Rulers. For Baby Rulers 2.0, Kozmo gets Spellbook of Crescent. That's what that is. Konami gave us Spellbook of Crescent. Into this. Konami gave me Spellbook of Crescent. Konami, help. I need to deal with Infinity Solemn Notice Rafflesia turn 1. We could give you Crescent. You randomly pick one to your hand, it's a +1 during the end phase. Ah, the crowd goes wild. Fucking, what garbage, oh man, honestly, what garbage. Stormtroopers, this is like the only good one, but because it sort of fixes the normal summon problem, but it's so bad. It's yeah, it's too slow. It's a normal summon. It's too slow. This what is that card called? The level 6, I think, or level 8 Dark Synchro that reduces your opponent's monster's attack. I can't remember its name. It's like a level 8, I think, Dark Synchro Dragon, and it reduces your monster's attack, your opponent's monster's attack. Oh no, it sends the monster to the graveyard and it reduces its attack. Never mind. Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. I got fucking Challenger 2.0. That's great. Dark Eclipse, the boss monster, the best card of the set. What should be the best card of the set is it's Forbidden Lance, because you know Kozmo had trouble against traps, and that was the deck's problem. If you ask anyone in the world, even some random kid in like the middle of like an Australian forest, right? You ask him, "Hey, little man, I know you don't have food and stuff, but what's the problem with Kozmo?" They'll tell you, it's the normal summon problem. Anyone could tell you that, right? So Konami thought, this deck has a normal summon problem. How do we fix that? We'll give you trap negation. We'll give you a forbidden lance that has a banish as a cost. Okay, thanks Konami. This is laughable, right? Target one Kozmo monster you control. Destroy it. And if you do, banish one card your opponent controls or in their graveyard. So you can only use one Kozmojo per turn, but you get a non-targeted banish. It banishes any card. That's pretty cool. Do you see the problem with it though? Do you see the problem with it though? Do you see that? Yeah? Yeah, you seeing the problem with that? You see what color this card is? You see this this word here? You see that? Remember, my opponent's standard first turn play is make like 2 or 3 solemn cards, set them in the back row. Any mix of the following, right? So 3 solemn notices, Infinity, and Rafflesia. Infinity, Rafflesia, 2 or 3 solemn notices. Skullcrabat and Monkey Board have been searched and added to hand from Wizard for next turn as a setup for a follow-up play, right? I'm staring down 2 or 3 back row. I'm staring down 1 or 2 Floodgate monsters that negates anything. Negate anything. And what did Konami think? How can we out this field? What can we do to get rid of this monster on the field? This board of 2 traps and Solemn Judgment on legs, right? Solemn Judgment on legs and 1 or 2 Solemn Warning notice cards in the back row. What can we give what can we give the Kozmo to deal with this? What can we give them? Let's give them a trap card. Sorry, what? You mean I'm staring down Solemn Notice, Infinity Rafflesia, and what's my response? You want me to set this? That's my response to that +9 field and shit that they've just done. Your response is set Kozmojo. That's what you want me to do in 2016. You want me to set a trap card and pass.